Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation. We're about to explore the hidden mysticism behind Freemasonry, unlocking ancient secrets. This is the first slide, our cover slide, and it sets the stage for an intriguing journey. Over the next few minutes, we'll delve into the fascinating world of ancient knowledge and symbolism associated with Freemasonry. So, sit back and get ready to uncover some mysteries that have fascinated many for centuries. Let's get started. Welcome to today's presentation. On this slide, we'll explore the key points that will guide our understanding of Freemasonry. We'll start with its historical origins, diving into how and where it all began. Then, we'll look at its core beliefs and philosophies that shape its teachings. We'll also discuss the rituals and ceremonies that are an integral part of Masonic practice. Moving further, we'll touch on the mystical aspects that often intrigue people about Freemasonry. We'll see how it connects with other esoteric traditions, revealing its broader spiritual context. Next, we'll examine the impact Freemasonry has had on society throughout history. Of course, we'll address some of the controversies and misconceptions that surround it, helping to clarify common misunderstandings. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry, emphasizing its enduring influence. Throughout this journey, we'll see how these points connect to the overall theme of understanding the mystic dimensions of Freemasonry. Let's begin by exploring the rich history of Freemasonry, which dates back centuries and has evolved through various cultural influences. We'll look into its core beliefs and philosophies, which emphasize moral integrity, brotherhood, and personal development. These principles are fundamental to understanding what motivates Freemasons and guides their practices. Next, we'll delve into the rituals and ceremonies that are central to Freemasonry. These are not only symbolic acts, but also serve to reinforce moral lessons and build a sense of unity among members. Then, we'll touch on the mystical aspects that many associate with Freemasonry, including its esoteric symbolism and spiritual traditions that often inspire curiosity and intrigue. We'll also examine how Freemasonry intersects with other esoteric traditions, sharing ideas and influences that have shaped its unique character. Moving forward, we'll assess the impact Freemasonry has had on society, its contributions to community development, philanthropy, and the promotion of civic values. Of course, no discussion would be complete without addressing the controversies and misconceptions surrounding Freemasonry, things that have often fueled suspicion or misunderstanding. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry and how it continues to influence its practices and philosophies today. All of these points connect to the broader theme of understanding the profound and sometimes secretive world of Freemasonry. Let's take a moment to look at an overview of Freemasonry. So, what exactly is it? Freemasonry is a fraternal organization that actually has its roots in medieval stonemasonry. Over time, it evolved into a society that emphasizes moral integrity, ritual practice, and the pursuit of knowledge. They use ancient symbols and traditions to guide their teachings, which makes it quite unique. Now, what are the key principles that define Freemasonry? At its core, it's all about brotherhood, moral integrity, and the ongoing search for truth. It's really about personal development, using allegory, symbolism, and shared rituals that have been handed down through generations. These aren't just rituals for the sake of tradition. They serve as tools to teach moral lessons and foster a sense of community. And then, looking at its influence worldwide, Freemasonry has a truly global reach. It spans many different cultures and societies, but the core ideals remain consistent: brotherhood, integrity, and enlightenment. Its influence can be seen not only in social and philanthropic efforts, but also in shaping societal structures in various parts of the world. So, in the context of our overall theme, Freemasonry represents a blend of tradition, moral pursuit, and global brotherhood that continues to impact societies today. Now, let's explore the role of symbols in Freemasonry. Symbols in this tradition carry deep and profound meanings. They are not just decorative. They serve as powerful tools for moral guidance, helping members navigate their personal and spiritual development. These symbols also foster a sense of unity among members, creating a shared language rooted in ancient wisdom. Ultimately, they enrich our spiritual journeys and deepen our understanding of truth. Take, for example, the well-known square and compasses. These symbols represent core moral and ethical teachings. They guide members toward personal growth, integrity, and a deeper appreciation of the ancient wisdom that underpins Freemasonry. Furthermore, many of these symbols are rich with mystical significance. They are not merely visual aids, but serve as tools for self-discovery and enlightenment. They help initiates unlock hidden spiritual truths and connect with the timeless knowledge passed down through generations. In essence, symbols in Freemasonry are vital. They connect us to a mystical context, encouraging us to interpret and understand their meanings on a deeper level. This interpretive process supports our journey toward enlightenment and a greater understanding of ourselves and the universe. Now, let's delve into the mystical realm of Freemasonry, starting with its origins. Freemasonry has a rich history that dates back centuries, with roots often traced to medieval stonemason guilds. These early groups laid the groundwork for the symbolic and philosophical traditions we see today. Moving on to core beliefs, Freemasons emphasize principles like brotherhood, moral development, and the pursuit of truth. Their philosophies encourage reflection on ethics and personal growth, often conveyed through allegory and symbolism. Rituals and ceremonies are central to their practices, serving as both initiations and teaching tools. These rituals are crafted to impart moral lessons and foster a sense of unity among members. The mystical aspects of Freemasonry are particularly intriguing. They involve esoteric symbolism, secret rites, and a quest for spiritual enlightenment. These elements add a layer of mystery and depth to their tradition. When we compare Freemasonry to other esoteric traditions, we find shared themes like secrecy, symbolism, and spiritual pursuit, which enrich its mystical allure. Beyond the spiritual, Freemasonry has had a significant impact on society, promoting charitable work, education, and civic engagement. However, it hasn't been without controversy. Many misconceptions and conspiracy theories have clouded its reputation over the years. Finally, as we conclude, it's clear that the legacy of Freemasonry's mysticism continues to influence modern culture, emphasizing moral values, spiritual exploration, and the pursuit of enlightenment that remains relevant today. Let's explore how ancient civilizations have shaped the foundations of Freemasonry. First, Egyptian mysticism played a significant role, emphasizing esoteric knowledge and symbolic representation. These elements were not just rituals, they were pathways to spiritual enlightenment, mirroring the ancient Egyptian culture's deep philosophies and spiritual practices. Moving to Greece, the mystery schools of places like Eleusis and Delphi also contributed profoundly. These schools imparted secret knowledge and rituals that influenced Freemasonry's symbolic framework and initiation ceremonies. They carried forward the tradition of passing down spiritual wisdom through symbolic rites. Finally, there's a close connection between Freemasonry and early Christian thought. Many of its symbols and ethical teachings echo the beliefs of early Christian communities, reflecting a shared pursuit of moral and spiritual enlightenment. All of these influences, Egyptian, Greek, and Christian, intertwine within Freemasonry, highlighting its role as a vessel for centuries of spiritual tradition and esoteric wisdom. In 1717, something truly pivotal happened in the history of Freemasonry: the establishment of the first Grand Lodge in London. This event was a real turning point because it brought together various lodges under one unified organization. It also helped formalize rituals, which are a core part of how Freemasonry operates today. This move really laid the foundation for modern Freemasonry's structure and practices. Now, another key influence during this period was the Enlightenment. This was an era that emphasized reason, individualism, and secular ideas. These philosophical influences deeply shaped modern Freemasonry by encouraging members to pursue knowledge and strive for moral improvement. It wasn't just about secret ceremonies. It was about personal growth and enlightenment, aligning with the broader cultural shifts of that time. And as we look at the 18th century, we see Freemasonry expanding rapidly across Europe and America. This expansion was driven by Enlightenment ideals, but also by political changes and the rise of social networking among the elite. Freemasonry became a way for influential people to connect, share ideas, and promote progress, which helped spread its influence far and wide. So, in summary, the founding of the Grand Lodge, the philosophical influences of the Enlightenment, and the rapid expansion all played crucial roles in shaping what modern Freemasonry is today. Let's take a moment to explore the mystical and philosophical roots of Freemasonry, which is the focus of this slide. We'll start with its historical origins, tracing back to medieval stonemasons and the evolution into a society that values moral and spiritual development. Moving on, we'll discuss the core beliefs and philosophies that guide Freemasons, such as the pursuit of truth, brotherhood, and personal growth. We'll also look at the rituals and ceremonies that are central to Masonic practice. These are rich in symbolism and serve as tools for teaching moral lessons. The mystical aspects of Freemasonry are particularly fascinating, as they tap into esoteric knowledge and spiritual symbolism that many believe point to deeper universal truths. Next, we'll see how Freemasonry intersects with other esoteric traditions, sharing similarities with mystical and philosophical systems from around the world. We'll also examine the profound impact Freemasonry has had on society, its influence on culture, ideas about democracy, and charity work. Of course, no discussion would be complete without acknowledging the controversies and misconceptions that surround Freemasonry, some rooted in misunderstanding, others in deliberate misinformation. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry, how its spiritual symbolism continues to inspire and influence generations. All these points connect back to our overall theme of understanding the mystical elements that are woven into the fabric of Freemasonry. Let's take a moment to explore the concept of the supreme being in Freemasonry. The great architect of the universe is a symbol that represents the divine creator. It embodies both unity and moral order, guiding us toward enlightenment and personal transformation. Through this understanding, Freemasons seek to deepen their spirituality and gain insight into the divine nature. Freemasonry emphasizes personal spirituality, which means we focus on our individual journey and inner truths. Unlike organized religion, which often has structured doctrines, Freemasonry allows for personal interpretation of the supreme being. This flexibility encourages each of us to find our own understanding and connection. It's important to recognize that Freemasonry promotes a universal idea of the supreme being. We emphasize inclusivity and accept various interpretations of the divine. This approach fosters spiritual growth, unity among members, and moral guidance, core elements that support our overall journey toward enlightenment. So, in essence, understanding the divine in Masonry is about appreciating this universal, inclusive view and recognizing that each individual's spiritual path is valued as part of the broader quest for knowledge and moral betterment. In this slide, we're exploring the fundamental role that education plays in Freemasonry. At its core, Freemasonry emphasizes lifelong learning, which means that personal growth and self-improvement are ongoing processes, not just something we do for a short period. It's about continually seeking moral development and sharing knowledge within our community, fostering a sense of enlightenment that benefits both the individual and the group. This pursuit of knowledge is seen as a sacred journey, one that encourages members to seek truth through symbols, rituals, and moral teachings. These elements serve as tools for revealing deeper wisdom and personal enlightenment, guiding us toward understanding ourselves and the world around us. Furthermore, education in Freemasonry isn't just about acquiring facts, it's about moral and spiritual growth. It's about unlocking our true potential through shared experiences, moral teachings, and the pursuit of inner wisdom. Ultimately, this focus on lifelong learning and self-improvement connects directly to our overall theme, striving for personal development and enlightenment, which are at the heart of what Freemasonry is all about. Welcome to this slide where we explore the rich and intriguing world of Freemasonry. We'll start by looking at its historical origins, which date back several centuries and are often shrouded in mystery. Understanding where it all began helps us appreciate its enduring influence. Next, we'll delve into the core beliefs and philosophies that guide Freemasons, values like brotherhood, moral development, and the pursuit of truth. These principles form the foundation of their practices and community. We'll then examine the rituals and ceremonies that are central to Freemasonry. These rites are not only symbolic, but also serve to impart moral lessons and foster a sense of unity among members. Moving further, we'll explore the mystical aspects of Freemasonry, its symbols, allegories, and esoteric knowledge that often evoke a sense of wonder and curiosity. Following that, we'll connect Freemasonry to other esoteric traditions, highlighting shared themes and influences across different mystical and spiritual systems. This helps us see how Freemasonry fits into a broader landscape of mystical thought. We'll also consider the impact Freemasonry has had on society, its charitable work, influence on culture, and role in shaping ideas about morality and leadership. Despite this, there are controversies and misconceptions surrounding it, often fueled by secrecy and misunderstandings. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry, emphasizing how its mystical traditions continue to inspire and intrigue, leaving a lasting imprint on history and culture. This overview underscores the complex and fascinating nature of Freemasonry as both a spiritual and societal phenomenon. Let's explore the significance of rituals in Freemasonry. Rituals serve a vital role in imparting moral teachings, helping us reflect on values that guide our lives. They also foster a strong sense of community, creating bonds among members through shared experiences. Importantly, these rituals connect us to ancient traditions, which adds a layer of historical depth and continuity. The purpose of Masonic rituals is quite structured. They follow symbolic sequences that include allegorical lessons, initiation rites, and graded advancements. This structure isn't random. It's designed to promote unity among members, encourage moral reflection, and transmit ancient knowledge that has been passed down through generations. When we look at the structure, we see that these ceremonies create a real sense of belonging. They help us build emotional connections with one another and reinforce shared values. This not only enhances our psychological well-being, but also strengthens the cohesion within our community. Finally, the psychological impact of ritual is profound. Engaging in these symbolic actions provides a sense of stability, purpose, and connection. It's through these shared rituals that members often find a deeper personal growth and a stronger sense of unity with their lodge and the broader Masonic tradition. Let's take a closer look at the major Masonic degrees. First, we have the Entered Apprentice degree. This is where candidates are introduced to the core principles of Masonry. It emphasizes morality, self-improvement, and the importance of brotherhood. These elements are fundamental to the teachings of the fraternity and set the foundation for everything that follows. Next is the Fellowcraft degree. Here, the focus shifts to knowledge, intellect, and moral development. It symbolizes a transition from initial initiation to a deeper understanding of Masonic teachings. It encourages us to seek wisdom and continue our personal growth within the craft. Finally, we arrive at the Master Mason degree. This is the culmination of the initiation process. It represents mastery, moral responsibility, and the pursuit of enlightenment. Through this degree, we are reminded of the importance of ethical living and ongoing learning. Overall, these degrees build upon each other, guiding us from basic principles to a deeper mastery of self and knowledge. They highlight the journey of moral and spiritual development that lies at the heart of Freemasonry. Now, let's explore the introduction to Freemasonry. This is a fascinating topic that blends history, philosophy, and mysticism. We'll look into its historical origins, which date back several centuries, and see how it has evolved over time. Moving on, we'll discuss the core beliefs and philosophies that underpin Freemasonry, emphasizing values like brotherhood, morality, and self-improvement. We'll also delve into the rituals and ceremonies that are central to Masonic practice. These serve to teach moral lessons and build a sense of community. Then, we'll explore the mystical aspects, which often attract curiosity and lend an aura of secrecy and tradition. Next, we'll examine how Freemasonry interacts with other esoteric traditions, revealing its influences and shared philosophies. We'll also consider the impact Freemasonry has had on society, its contributions to social development, philanthropy, and cultural change. Of course, no overview would be complete without addressing some controversies and misconceptions surrounding it. Things like conspiracy theories or misunderstandings about its secretive nature. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry, understanding how its spiritual and symbolic elements continue to inspire and influence. All these points connect to the larger theme of exploring how Freemasonry embodies a blend of tradition, secrecy, and universal values that have persisted for centuries. Let's explore the alchemical and hermetic influences in Freemasonry. Alchemy here is more than just turning metals into gold. It's a powerful symbol of personal transformation. It represents the journey we all take from ignorance to enlightenment, emphasizing how we can transmute ourselves through knowledge and spiritual growth. This idea of interchange is central to many Masonic teachings. Moving on, Hermetic principles like correspondence and polarity play a vital role. These principles highlight the interconnectedness of the universe and remind us that everything is linked. They support the concept that our spiritual journey is part of a larger cosmic process of transformation and self-discovery. Finally, the Philosopher's Stone is a key symbol in Masonic lore. Traditionally, it represents the ultimate goal of spiritual transformation and enlightenment. It symbolizes our quest for inner perfection and mastery over alchemical principles. In essence, it's about achieving a higher state of being, much like the Masonic pursuit of moral and spiritual perfection. All of these elements, alchemy, Hermetic principles, and the Philosopher's Stone, tie into the broader theme of personal growth and enlightenment that runs through Freemasonry. Let's explore the role of mythology within Freemasonry. Myths are more than stories. They serve as powerful tools for teaching moral lessons and symbolizing personal growth. By using these stories, Masonic teachings help initiates connect to universal truths, deepening their understanding of human nature and spirituality. In Freemasonry, archetypes, like the wise old man or the hero, play a crucial role. These universal figures embody fundamental truths and serve as guides through personal transformation. They help members navigate the mysteries of spirituality and encourage self-discovery. Masonic myths are rich with lessons on moral integrity, the pursuit of enlightenment, and the journey towards self-awareness. They reflect humanity's ongoing quest for truth and our desire to connect with the divine. Ultimately, these stories and archetypes are essential tools for fostering growth, understanding, and spiritual insight within the Masonic tradition. Let's explore the introduction to Freemasonry by looking at its historical origins. Freemasonry, as we know it today, has roots that stretch back several centuries, with influences from medieval stonemasons' guilds. Over time, these guilds evolved into what we now recognize as modern Freemasonry, emphasizing moral and philosophical teachings. Moving on to core beliefs and philosophies, Freemasonry promotes values like brotherhood, charity, integrity, and the pursuit of truth. Its teachings encourage members to improve themselves and serve their communities. Rituals and ceremonies form a vital part of Freemasonry, serving as symbolic acts that convey moral lessons and reinforce brotherhood. These rituals often involve allegorical stories and symbols meant to inspire reflection. Now, let's delve into the mystical aspects of Freemasonry. Many believe that Freemasonry holds secret knowledge and esoteric wisdom, often conveyed through symbolic language and rituals. This mystical dimension adds a layer of intrigue and suggests a deeper spiritual journey. When we consider Freemasonry alongside other esoteric traditions, we see shared themes of enlightenment, hidden knowledge, and spiritual development. These connections highlight Freemasonry's role within a broader mystical and philosophical landscape. Its impact on society has been significant, influencing culture, architecture, and civic life, often promoting ideals of liberty and fraternity. However, with influence comes controversy. Many misconceptions and conspiracy theories have surrounded Freemasonry over the years. It's important to distinguish between facts and myths to understand its true nature. To conclude, the legacy of mysticism in Freemasonry remains a fascinating aspect, blending tradition, symbolism, and spiritual inquiry, shaping its enduring influence on individuals and society alike. Let's explore how different Eastern philosophies compare and connect with Freemasonry. Starting with Taoism, which emphasizes balance and harmony, ideas that really mirror Freemasonry's quest for equilibrium between light and darkness. Both traditions seek a deeper understanding of universal truths and inner peace, highlighting a shared pursuit of spiritual harmony. Moving on to Buddhism, which is all about enlightenment and personal transformation. Freemasonry shares this focus, encouraging ethical living and a continuous quest for spiritual understanding that goes beyond just material concerns. It's about becoming a better, more aware person through inner growth. And then there's shamanism, which, like Freemasonry, emphasizes personal journeys and spiritual awakening. Shamanic practices often highlight our interconnectedness with nature, ourselves, and the universe, a mystical perspective that aligns closely with the Masonic view of spiritual interconnectedness. So overall, these philosophies, while distinct, echo many of Freemasonry's core themes: the pursuit of balance, enlightenment, and personal transformation. They help us see how different spiritual paths can be interconnected in their search for deeper truths. Let's take a closer look at the future, specifically around 2024 and 2026. During this period, theosophical interpretations of Freemasonry continue to emphasize key ideas like spiritual evolution, universal brotherhood, and the pursuit of hidden knowledge. These interpretations often link Masonic rituals to Kabbalistic symbolism and other esoteric wisdom that spans across different traditions. It's fascinating how these layers of meaning connect, suggesting that Masonic practices are deeply rooted in a broader spiritual and mystical framework. Moving forward, in 2025, we'll see a focus on the connections between Freemasonry, Theosophy, and Kabbalah. Kabbalistic symbolism, for instance, plays a significant role in Masonic practice. This symbolism often reflects deeper spiritual truths, using tools like the Tree of Life and numerology to convey hidden knowledge. These symbols serve as a bridge to universal connections and spiritual insights that are integral to the initiation process. What's really compelling here is that Freemasonry, Theosophy, and Kabbalah share similar objectives. All three aim for spiritual awakening and inner transformation. They emphasize understanding universal truths and the quest for enlightenment through symbolic knowledge. Ultimately, their goal is personal growth, helping individuals evolve on their spiritual journey while uncovering profound universal secrets along the way. Let's explore the fascinating world of Freemasonry, starting with its historical origins. Freemasonry has roots that stretch back several centuries, with influences from medieval stonemasons' guilds that eventually evolved into the modern fraternity we know today. Moving on to its core beliefs and philosophies, Freemasonry emphasizes moral development, brotherhood, and the pursuit of truth, often through allegorical teachings and symbolism. Rituals and ceremonies are central to its practice, serving as both initiations and moral lessons, creating a sense of unity and shared tradition among members. Now, the mystical aspects of Freemasonry are particularly intriguing. They involve esoteric knowledge, symbolism, and spiritual insights that often point toward universal truths. This leads us to how Freemasonry interacts with other esoteric traditions, sharing ideas and principles that have influenced various mystical and philosophical systems over time. The impact of Freemasonry on society has been significant, contributing to cultural, political, and charitable developments, often emphasizing values like liberty and equality. Of course, there are controversies and misconceptions surrounding Freemasonry, ranging from conspiracy theories to misunderstandings about its purpose, that have persisted over the years. Finally, in conclusion, we see that the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry continues to inspire curiosity and respect, shaping its enduring influence on history and culture. Let's take a closer look at how Freemasonry contributed to shaping the ideas and values that fueled the American Revolution. Freemasonry played a significant role in fostering Enlightenment ideals like liberty and equality, which were crucial in inspiring the push for independence. These ideals influenced key figures and events, ultimately helping to shape the foundation of our nation and its democratic principles. Additionally, Freemasonry promoted reason, science, and individualism, core concepts of the Enlightenment, that encouraged people to think independently and value personal liberties. These ideas didn't just stay within the lodge. They helped influence the development of modern societal frameworks based on freedom and equality. Beyond politics, Freemasonry also impacted social reform movements by championing equality, education, and philanthropy. These progressive ideals challenged traditional societal norms and encouraged civic engagement, pushing society toward greater fairness and opportunity for all. So, in essence, Freemasonry's influence extended across political, social, and cultural domains, playing a vital role in shaping the values that underpin our society today. Modern Freemasonry continues to evolve, embracing current trends and adapting to the changing world around us. Today, it influences societal values by actively engaging in community service, promoting ethical leadership, and fostering inclusivity. These efforts help us stay relevant and attract a diverse membership, ensuring that Freemasonry remains a positive force in society. When it comes to charity, Freemasonry has a long-standing tradition of making a real impact. Our charitable initiatives focus on philanthropy, supporting communities, and welfare programs that assist those in need. These efforts not only help individuals, but also strengthen social cohesion, reinforcing the idea that we are all connected. Now, in today's society, perceptions of Freemasonry can be quite varied. While many appreciate our charitable work, community-building efforts, and moral values, there's often curiosity, and sometimes suspicion, due to our secretive rituals and traditions. It's important to recognize that these perceptions are part of our ongoing dialogue with society. Overall, Freemasonry remains committed to contributing positively, all while navigating the balance between tradition and contemporary relevance. Now, let's delve into the introduction to Freemasonry. This ancient fraternity has a rich history that traces back many centuries, with roots often linked to medieval stonemasons and their guilds. Its origins are somewhat shrouded in mystery, which only adds to its allure. Moving on, we'll explore the core beliefs and philosophies that underpin Freemasonry. These include principles like brotherhood, moral development, and the pursuit of truth, all of which guide members on their personal journeys. Next, we'll look at the rituals and ceremonies that are central to Masonic practice. These rituals serve as symbolic tools for teaching moral lessons and fostering a sense of unity among members. They often incorporate elaborate symbols and allegories that carry deeper meanings. Then, we come to the mystical aspects of Freemasonry. Many believe that beyond the surface, there are spiritual and esoteric dimensions that explore the mysteries of existence and the divine, which are sometimes kept secret or reserved for initiates. We'll also consider how Freemasonry intersects with other esoteric traditions. It has historically shared ideas and symbols with various mystical and philosophical systems, creating a web of interconnected beliefs. Moving further, we see the impact of Freemasonry on society. Throughout history, it has influenced social movements, philanthropy, and even politics, often advocating for progress and enlightenment. However, Freemasonry has not been without controversy. There are misconceptions and conspiracy theories that have surrounded it for centuries, sometimes casting it in a suspicious light. It's important to understand these myths versus the reality of what Freemasonry actually represents. Finally, we'll conclude by reflecting on the legacy of mysticism in Freemasonry. Its enduring influence lies in its ability to inspire personal growth, foster community, and preserve ancient traditions of wisdom and spirituality. All these aspects together highlight the profound and complex nature of Freemasonry as a mystical and societal phenomenon. Let's take a moment to address some common myths about Freemasonry that often come up in discussions. First, there's the idea that Freemasonry is connected to conspiracy theories. Many people think it's involved in secret plots or trying to control the world, but in reality, it's simply a fraternity that focuses on morality, charity, and self-improvement. It's not about clandestine agendas, but about personal growth and community service. Next, there's the misunderstanding about secrecy. Some believe that the secrecy around Freemasonry means there's something sinister going on. However, the truth is that it's mainly about privacy, fellowship, and preserving traditions. It's not about hiding malicious plans or having hidden motives. It's more about creating a safe space for members to share and grow. Finally, let's talk about the influence of Freemasonry. People often think that Freemasons hold immense power and sway over societal events. While it's true that historically, members of the organization have been influential among elites, the actual impact they have today is usually overstated. The organization isn't pulling strings behind the scenes to control society. It's more about individual members making a positive difference in their communities. So, understanding these myths helps us see Freemasonry for what it truly is: a fraternity centered on personal development, fellowship, and positive community engagement, rather than secret plots or hidden power. Let's talk about some of the criticisms and defenses surrounding Freemasonry. Religious groups often criticize Freemasonry, mainly because they perceive it to involve occult practices or hold beliefs that conflict with their own teachings. They argue that such practices can undermine religious authority and loyalty. However, supporters of Freemasonry see it differently. They defend it as a system that promotes moral values, personal integrity, and charity. Now, a lot of the misconceptions about Freemasonry come from its secretive nature. People tend to fill in the gaps with speculation. But in reality, the rituals are designed to encourage personal growth and community service, not anything malicious or conspiratorial. Looking ahead, Freemasonry faces ongoing scrutiny and challenges, but its commitment to evolving and being more transparent may help it stay relevant. By doing so, it can continue to foster unity and understanding, especially in a world that's changing rapidly. So, in essence, while it's not without controversy, Freemasonry's core focus remains on moral development and community, and its future depends on how well it can adapt and clarify its purpose. Let's explore the fascinating legacy of Freemasonry by starting with its introduction and historical origins. Freemasonry is one of the oldest fraternal organizations, with roots that trace back to the late Middle Ages. It evolved from the guilds of stonemasons and builders, gradually transforming into a society that emphasizes moral and philosophical development. Moving on to its core beliefs and philosophies, Freemasonry promotes principles like brotherhood, charity, truth, and moral uprightness. Its teachings are often conveyed through allegories and symbols, encouraging members to seek self-improvement and enlightenment. When we look at rituals and ceremonies, these are central to Freemasonry's tradition. They serve as both ceremonial acts and moral lessons, often involving elaborate symbolism to convey deeper truths. The mystical aspects of Freemasonry are particularly intriguing. They encompass esoteric knowledge, spiritual symbolism, and a sense of connection to universal mysteries. Freemasonry also shares common ground with other esoteric traditions, such as alchemy, Kabbalah, and mysticism, which enrich its spiritual tapestry. The impact of Freemasonry on society has been significant, influencing various cultural, political, and social movements over centuries. Many leaders, thinkers, and innovators have been Freemasons, contributing to ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. However, as with any powerful organization, it has also been surrounded by controversies and misconceptions. Some see it as a secret society with hidden agendas, but much of its purpose is about personal growth and ethical conduct. Finally, as we conclude, it's important to recognize the legacy of mysticism within Freemasonry. Its mystical traditions continue to inspire curiosity and admiration, shaping its enduring influence on both individual members and society at large. This mystical legacy is what keeps the organization both intriguing and relevant today. The enduring allure of Freemasonry is a fascinating topic because it highlights how the legacy of mysticism continues to influence and inspire. Freemasonry's mystical traditions encourage individuals to explore their personal beliefs and seek deeper meaning through rituals and symbols. This process helps members connect with broader spiritual concepts, enriching their life journey and offering a sense of purpose. When we talk about discovering personal meaning, we see that mysticism plays a vital role in shaping this quest. Freemasonry draws seekers into a timeless pursuit of truth, wisdom, and enlightenment. It's about fostering a profound connection to ancient traditions and esoteric knowledge that have been passed down through generations. The ongoing search for secrets is at the heart of this mystical tradition. Freemasonry guides its members through personal transformation, helping them grow morally and spiritually. This legacy isn't just about individual development, it also influences society at large by inspiring a deeper search for meaning in life. Ultimately, Freemasonry serves as a powerful tool for transformation. It encourages us to look inward, seek truth, and develop wisdom, transforming ourselves and, in turn, shaping the world around us. This enduring mysticism continues to be a vital part of its appeal, making Freemasonry a lifelong journey of discovery. Let's explore some recommended avenues for further exploration. First up, suggested reading. Diving into books and articles about mysticism in Freemasonry can really deepen your understanding. These resources reveal the symbolism and rituals that are often misunderstood, giving you a richer perspective on both the historical roots and how these practices remain relevant today. It's a great way to connect the dots and see the bigger picture. Next, online resources and communities. There are numerous forums, blogs, and educational websites where enthusiasts and scholars share their insights. Engaging with these platforms allows you to encounter diverse viewpoints, ask questions, and participate in discussions. It's a dynamic way to broaden your understanding and connect with others who share your interest in Masonic mysticism. Finally, local Masonic lodges and events. Attending lodge meetings or special events provides a unique, first-hand look into the traditions and mystical practices that are still alive today. Participating directly helps foster a deeper appreciation and understanding of the legacy that shapes modern Freemasonry. These connections often bring the concepts we've discussed into a more personal and tangible context. Together, these resources, books, online communities, and real-world engagement, offer a comprehensive path for those who want to explore the mystical side of Freemasonry more deeply. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. I'd like to leave you with a quick overview of the Masonic audiobook library. This resource is designed to provide easy access to a wide range of Masonic teachings, history, and philosophies through audiobooks. It's a valuable tool for continuing education and personal growth within our fraternity. Today, we've explored how such resources can deepen our understanding and strengthen our bonds as Masons. Remember, lifelong learning is a cornerstone of our tradition, and this library is here to support that journey. Once again, thank you for your time and engagement. I encourage you to explore the Masonic audiobook library and make the most of this resource. Wishing you all continued success on your Masonic path.